Now, the next topic is how currency fluctuate. As I told you, currency fluctuates mainly because of demand and supply. So the main parameter, the main reason why our currency fluctuate, our exchange rate fluctuate is demand and supply. But demand and supply, behind demand and supply, there are many further reasons. Look, why demand and supply affected? We know any currency whose demand is higher, it's appreciating value. Any currency whose demand is lower but supply is more, currency will appreciate. The question is why demand and supply will move up and down? Because of many reasons. What are those reasons? Let me discuss about those. Prime reason behind demand and supply may be speculation. I mean, let's say if I start believing that dollar will appreciate in value in future, and if I have some funds and I want to save it, I might deposit into dollar bank account. Why? Because I know dollars will getting strength in value in future and I will get a reward. Why? Because I estimate. It was speculation. Look, a speculation means it's not always correct. Look, if the majority of the people start believing the same thing, they will definitely impact the demand of this currency, even though speculation was wrong. But because of what act you did, results into the appreciation of the value of a currency. So main reason is demand and supply, but demand and supply will be impacted due to speculation, due to balance of payment as well, definitely. So if in your economy exports are more and imports are less, if exports are more, mean the foreign supplier need to find your currency to pay you. And of course, vice versa. FDI stand for foreign direct investment. So if the investors are coming, let's in the UAE, investors from all over the world, they're coming into the UAE and they bring their assets, they transfer their assets from their home countries to there. Of course, it's good for the UAE economy because the money is coming into the UAE economy from the other economies. And when they bring their money, definitely they will convert into dirham and definitely will increase the demand of a dirham. That's the one reason. Again, it will impact your demand and supply. Okay, if you have taken the loan in the foreign currency from the foreign countries or maybe from the foreign institutions like IMF, if you have bring the loan, definitely you are bringing dollars into your economy. And when you bring it into your economy, you will convert it into your local currency. So when you will convert into your local currency, at that time, definitely it will increase the demand of your local currency. But when its time comes for repayment, we have a total reverse impact. When you have to pay the loan back, you need to arrange dollars again, and you need to sell your local currency to buy the dollars, and then will depreciate your local currency. So we need to look at all the things. So all of these things will ultimately impact on the demand and supply. Foreign currency remittance. Yes, if you have remittance in foreign currency. Purchasing power parity and interest rate parity. Okay, so all of these things we know, but we need to discuss these two parities, these two relationships in detail. Purchasing power parity is a relationship which is totally impacted due to inflation. It's totally related to inflation. You know, inflation is what is inflation. So the purchasing power parity, it claims that the rate of exchange between two currencies depends on the relative inflation rates within the respective countries. So what's the idea behind purchasing power parity theory? It's a theory. This theory says that this if I just want to make one liner for this theory says there's a law of one price. Yeah, here. It is based on the law of one price. That mean basically? It means if you want to buy any commodity in this world, let's say I want to buy an Apple phone, let's say an Apple phone, I want to buy. So whether I buy this from Mumbai, I buy this from Dubai, I buy this from Hong Kong, I buy this from Sydney, I buy this from London, it should cost me same. If I buy any commodity, an Apple phone, or any mobile phone, or any laptop, or any bread, butter, it should cost me same whether we buy from UAE, from Pakistan, from Zimbabwe, from Sudan, from anywhere, it costs me same. But will you agree with that? Do you think you will buy in real term, you can buy the thing with same price? The answer is no. No. Why? Yeah, why? Because of different government policies. Some governments they have a higher taxation system. Some other governments they don't. Right? So, I mean, let's say I was talking about Apple phone. Apple phone is even cheaper in the UAE as compared to Pakistan. Why? Because in Pakistan, the government imposed very heavy import duties and taxation on the mobile phone. Yeah, if the government will not impose taxation, then we would say that okay, the price of different commodities around the globe is going to cost you same. Okay, let's talk about vehicles, car. In most of the countries, like in Pakistan, if you buy a car, if its price, let's say it's the manufacturer, let's say they are selling car for 100. If there's a price is 100, 300 is the taxes charged from the government. So its price is three times from the 4 times, 3 times is just a taxation charged by the government. Because of that reason, yes, we would say that it's not possible that the same product you can buy around the globe at different price, right? Mainly because of these things. So, but what will happen in that case? If there's no one price established, what will happen? The world is globalized now. Then the people will try, the public will try to exploit it. I was, let me talk about Apple phones. Apple phones or any mobile phone is costly in India and Pakistan as compared to UAE. When we are going to our country in Pakistan and India, our relatives are saying, okay, hey, you are coming from Dubai, please brought a mobile phone for us. It's cheaper from there, right? Or even though, okay, I have some money, I know it's iPhone is expensive over there, so I can buy from here and sell over there. Let's talk about gold. Okay, gold is cheaper to buy from here. Okay, buy a gold biscuit and brought with me in India, and I can sell over there, or in Pakistan and sell over there. So of course, this kind of benefit the people are trying to get. So in the long run, this difference is also going to be eliminated. In the end, by the way, we can talk hours about this theory, purchasing power parity theory, but we just simply need to know this. What is the implication of this theory in our finance paper? So using the purchasing power parity theory, we can predict our forward rate. Remember, we have two types of rate: spot rate and forward rate. Forward is the future rate, I mean the rate of the future, 3 months rate, 6 month rate. So a forward rate is determinable if we able to find the inflation rate of two different economies. Let me try to explain you with the help of this illustration here. Let's say an item costs $3,000 in the US. Okay, it's cost $3,000 in the US, and let's say uh, the exchange rate between the dollar and pound is $1.5 per 1 pound. So that means the same item, if you want to buy in UK, it would cost you 3,000 into 1.5. So divided by 1.5, because this is a division case, 2,000 pound. So if you want to buy this item from US, it will cost you $3,000. And if you want to buy this from UK market, it will cost you $2,000. Let's say after 1 year, we have an inflation. Let's say the inflation in the US economy is 5% and the inflation in the UK economy is 3%. Okay, so after 1 year, the same item that cost 3,000 to you in US, it will cost you 3,150, including 5% inflation, right? And the same item in UK will cost you 2,060, provided 3% inflation in the UK. So its cost is changed now because of the inflation in UK is lower. Maybe it cost increase with lower. Now, if I want to find a new exchange rate, how can I find a new exchange rate? By taking the difference again. Look, what is my rate? My rate first currency is dollar. If I want to predict, so dollar is my first currency. So I will put dollars on top. 3,150 dollars, sorry, dollar. And down is pound, 2,060 pound. If I divide, what answer I will get? 1.5291. So your spot rate that was $1.5 per 1 pound, it moves to $1.5291. This is a forward rate. How can we find in an easiest way? The same thing I can find using the formula. This formula I can use and I can find this rate directly. How? The formula here, if I want to find forward rate, okay, we can also write in this way, okay, FR mean forward rate or future rate is equal to SR, spot rate, multiply by 1 plus inflation of first currency, CHY stand for currency, divided by 1 plus inflation of second currency. So first currency means very important. Look, what is the exchange rate you have? Remember, it always have a first currency, the nominator is the first currency, and denominator is the second currency. Or the currency which is written in one term, 1 unit term is a second currency, right? So look, let me talk about the same rate. The same rate that we have 1.5. Here, dollar is the first currency, right? Here, dollar is the first currency. It's $1.50 is top. Pound is down. So let me write down here. So here spot rate is 1.5 dollar over sterling pound. Now I should multiply this with on the top 1 plus inflation rate of the first currency. So first currency is dollar. So we need to use the dollar inflation, which is 5%. Okay. So into 1.05 divided by 1 plus inflation of the second currency, which is the inflation of the UK market, which is 3%. Check that, you will get same answer. You will get same answer. So, using the purchasing power parity, using this formula, we can estimate the future rate, the forward rate. We can predict a forward rate using our inflation rates. Okay, so this is the uh, purchasing power parity theory, and this is the idea behind this. I need to select my charger. This is very simple, $1.72 or pound. So here first currency is, okay, so here first currency is dollar. So we multiply with the dollar inflation rate, which is 1.03, and we will divide with the sterling inflation rate, mean the UK inflation rate, which is 1.04. So you will get your answer. So PPPT, purchasing power parity theory, can be used as our best predictor of future spot rate. However, it suffers from the following major limitation. The future inflation rate is just an estimate. It's not the actual rate. Okay, and the market is denominated by speculative transaction. Most of the transactions are in speculation. So it's not only inflation that is going to impact the demand and supply, it is the speculation as well that is going to impact the demand and supply. So it's just like an idea. Government might intervene, as we said. Government may manage exchange rate, like a fixed exchange rate or something like that. So it's like a fake rate established in the economy. That's why when the government want to try to manage the exchange rate, we call this, like, remember we talk about this, manage exchange rate. We also call it dirty float. Floating exchange rate, we also call it clean float. Why? Because we leave the demand and we leave the currency on demand and supply forces. So it's a clean float. This is kind of a dirty float. The rate which is set up is totally a fake rate. Okay, the government must need to protect their economies. Okay, so that's the key thing we have to know. Next is interest rate parity. Same interest rate parity theory. Idea is same. The idea is it's claimed that difference between the spot and forward rate is due to the interest rate between the two different economies. If the interest rate in one economy is higher as compared to the interest rate of the other economies, so that will definitely going to impact your exchange rate. The formula is again the same, but here I stand for not inflation, I stand for interest. So formula is same. If you have, if you want to find, if you want to find a forward rate using the spot rate, so multiply with 1 plus interest rate of the first currency divided by 1 plus interest rate of the second currency. Simple. So you can use this idea to predict. And look here, we have questions as well to predict our interest rate parities here. Let's say the question, a borrower, a treasurer can borrow in Swiss francs at a rate of 3% per year and in UK at 7%. The current spot rate is 10 Swiss francs per 1 pound. So the nominator currency is Swiss francs. So what you have to do, 10 multiply by the currency or exchange rate, the interest rate of the Swiss francs mean the interest rate of the Swiss francs currency, which is 3%. Okay, 1.03 divided by 1.07, and you will get a forward rate on the basis of that. Okay, I think we did this.